and welcome to Bottoms Down Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you've joined us today. Check out the sections on the Bottoms Down YouTube channel homepage. They just make it easier to find classes by length of time or by purpose or by body area. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. It's free and I'd love to hear from you, so leave me a comment. I've been getting a few more comments. It makes me very excited. I respond to all of them, and I try to incorporate as many of the suggestions as I can. So keep them coming. Now in today's practice, we're going to explore poses for back pain. Yoga poses can help increase the strength in specific muscles and muscle groups, which can help you reduce back pain and maintain a healthy spine. So you will need a chair for today's practice as well as a yoga block. Now, if you don't have a yoga block, you can substitute a large book, or you can just do the class without it. I'll demonstrate it. It'll be just fine. All right, let's take a moment here to ground. So we're going to take a moment to ground those feet to the floor and our sits bones to the chair. So I want you to feel like you're not leaning, right? So everything is equally weighted and grounded to the earth. Let's go ahead and flip those palms up if that feels okay for you. Close your eyes and just connect to that breath. Just breathing your natural breath. Let's go ahead and elongate the breath. So inhale a little more deeply and exhale a little more completely. We're going to move that breath down into our diaphragm. So as we inhale, we're going to fill the lungs from the bottom up. The belly extends. And as we exhale, we're going to actively pull the belly button in towards the spine and push the air up and out of the lungs. So do that a few times. And just breathe normally. Continuing with that diaphragmatic breath, we're going to inhale to 4 counts and exhale to 5, something like this. Inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe normally. Bring your hands to your heart and set your intentions for today's practice. One more breath here. Bring your hands back down to your thighs, open your eyes, and let's just look to the right. So just gently turning that head, the body stays facing forward. Let's look to the center, and we're going to look the other way. So it's a little bit for the neck there, right? Let's go ahead and look center. We're going to do that one more time. Should feel really good. And center, super gentle though. And look the other way. And center. Very good. Okay, we're going to move into mountain pose. We're going to start with our hands down by our side. Palms are facing out. And if it's okay with you and you don't have arthritis in those hands and everything's good, we're going to stretch through those fingers. All right, one more breath. Let's release the fingers and bring those arms to goalpost arms. Squeeze your shoulder blades back behind you, feeling a nice open chest. You feel it? Yeah? Okay. Excellent. All right, now we're going to extend our mountain. Hands are going to go to the ceiling. Belly button to spine. Notice how I just pulled my shoulders down. So what tends to happen as we come into our mountain pose, our fingertips go to the ceiling and so do our shoulders, right? So pull those shoulders down out of the ears. Belly is super tight. Okay, now with your right hand, I want you to grab that wrist, lengthen, and then lean. Now as you lean your mountain, I want you to really think about this opposite hip pressing down. That's where you're going to get that nice extension through the spine. You feel it? Good. Let's come up, bring those hands down, and we're going to go through that whole series one more time. Here we go. Mountain pose. Palms face in, stretch out those fingers if that feels okay. Good. Release the fingers, goalpost arms, squeeze those shoulder blades behind you. All right, we're going up to that extended mountain. Our shoulders are down out of those ears. Now with the other hand, we're going to grab that opposite wrist, lengthen and lean. You feel that sideways stretching? Should feel really good. I think I just cracked a couple of vertebrae. It felt good. One more breath. Back up we go. And bring those hands down. Excellent. Okay, we're going to take our right knee and open it wide. So if you notice, I've got a pretty good inner thigh stretch going here. So that should feel good anyway. So just hang out here for a couple of breaths. Now, we're going to move into a pose called Half Lord of the Fishes. And we're going to take our hand and we're going to bring it all the way across our body. Grab the chair. Now, this is important. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. So you're trying to touch the ceiling with the top of your head. I'm not looking up, right? The crown of the head is lengthening up. Then I'm going to turn and look over the back of my chair. So you're not looking at me anymore. You're looking the other way. You probably are feeling a pretty good stretch on the inner thigh of that knee that's extended out towards me. I want you to make sure that knee doesn't fold in, okay? It kind of wants to, but I'll try to keep that knee open and you're going to get a really good stretch in that inner thigh. Plus, it's easier on the knee. Let's release that, face me, and let's do that one more time. Here we go. All the way across the body, grab the chair, lift and twist. We're holding and breathing. One more breath here. Let's release that and face forward. How's that feel? Okay? We got to do the other side now. Here we go. Let's open up those knees. Feel that inner thigh stretch. Now remember, this is the knee that you want to have it facing me and not fold in. It wants to fold in so badly. Don't let it. Here we go. Bring that arm all the way across your body. Grab the chair. Now, as you lengthen through the crown of the head, I'm not looking up. The top of my head is what is extending to the ceiling. Then I'm going to turn and look over the back of my chair. And it's a pretty significant little stretch here. Not only am I stretching through the spine, but my legs are getting a nice stretch as well. Let's release that, and we're going to do that one more time. Bring that hand all the way across the body, grab the chair, crown of the head lifts, turn, and look over the back of your chair. Just one more breath. Go ahead and release that, and let's face forward. Okay. Let's grab a sip of water. We're going to come to standing on the right side of our chair. I'm going to turn and let's everybody turn and face our chairs. So what you're going to do is we're going to start into a camel pose. We're going to place our hands right on each side of the spine. You can do your fists if that feels better for you, or you can do your palms. It's kind of right at the top of that big bone, so right in the small of the back. We're going to look over the seat of our chair and we're just simply going to push our hips forward. So if you're like me, I feel a nice stretch happening into that low back. Be very gentle here, okay? Just take your time, be super gentle. Feel that stretch. One more breath here. Now, as we come out of it, what we're going to do is we're going to place our hands into the seat of the chair. And we're just going to let our belly fall towards the chair, lift your heart, and then you're going to round the spine. So it's just a little cat and a cow, right? So a cat pose here, and then a cow pose there. So dropping the belly, lifting the heart, lifting the hips, and then pulling the belly button to the spine, rounding the shoulders, letting the head fall. All right, now just take your hands off the chair, go ahead and roll back up into a standing position. So we're going to continue with camel, adding on. So remember, you can keep doing what we were just doing. You don't ever have to add on, okay? So keep doing what feels good to you. If you're with me, though, we're going to have our hands here in each side of the spine, right in the small of the back. We're going to engage our abdominals, push the hips forward. Now keep your abdominals engaged, and you're going to look kind of a little bit higher than where the ceiling and the wall meet, just a little bit higher. So it's an additional stretch for the back. One more breath here. Pull your belly button to spine. Go ahead and come up to standing. Then you're going to let your hands fall back into the chair and do a cat and a cow. So let your belly fall, lift the heart, lift the hips, and pull the belly button to the spine and round. And go ahead and do that again. And go ahead and come back into that cat pose. And from your cat pose, you're going to take your hands off the chair and just roll it up. Okay? Excellent. So now, the next version of our camel pose. Turn your chair so that the back of the chair is facing you. Okay? Does that make sense? Now you're going to turn around. Again, remember, you've got those other versions, so keep doing those if that feels better for you. But if you're with me, I'm going to take a step away from my chair. I'm holding on to the back of that chair, right? I'm going to push my hips forward. My abdominals are super engaged. I'm going to push my hips forward. Do you see what's happening there? Now I'm holding onto the chair. Let's look up at the ceiling, and I've got just a little bit more of a camel pose. Just one more breath here. Pull your belly button in, go ahead and come up to a standing pose. Turn around, face your chair, step back, and let your heart fall forward, okay? So this is just a supported forward fold. It's the same idea as our cat and cow. And if you want to go ahead and drop the belly and lift the heart, and pull the belly button in and let the head fall, you can do that too. Come back to neutral spine. We're going to roll it up. We've got the final version, okay? Final camel pose. So I'm stepping away just a little bit from my chair. My abdominals are engaged, super engaged. I'm holding onto that chair. I'm going to begin to push my hips forward, and then I'm going to walk my hands down the chair. Just whatever works for you. Looking up, squeezing your shoulder blades behind your back. Don't just release the neck though, right? So my neck is engaged. One more breath here. All right, abdominals super engaged. Walk yourself back up the chair. Come to standing. Turn around. Put your hands on the back of the chair. Let your heart fall forward into that forward fold. Remember, if you want to do the cat-cow movement with the back, go for it, if that feels good. And release. Let's go ahead and roll it up into a standing position. How did that feel? Was that good? I love camel pose. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn our chair back around now. So we're going to move into an extended mountain. So I'm on the right side of my chair. I'm going to lengthen my fingertips up towards the ceiling. Shoulders stay down, belly is tight. All right? Lengthening up, trying to touch the ceiling with my fingertips. Now, I'm going to reach over with my right hand and grab my left wrist, and I'm going to lengthen again. And then I'm going to lean. Now, as I'm leaning, I'm pushing this opposite hip down, and I'm extending through that sideways. Do you feel that? One more breath. Let's come back up to center. Let's just grab the other wrist, lengthen, and lean. Leaning extended mountain. Ah, it feels good. I love this one. All right, up we go. Let's bring those hands down, take just a break. So because we're at that little twist, right? So we're going to extend our mountain, and then we're going to turn and look. It just adds a little bit of twist into that spine. If you don't want to do it, leave it out. Just do your extended mountain. All right, are we ready? Let's extend our mountains up. This time, let's start with that left hand grabbing the right wrist. Lengthen first and lean. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my head. I'm going to look up at the ceiling, and that just gives you a little twist into that spine. You feel it? Let's take that twist out, back up to the ceiling. Let's grab the other side, lean, twist. Take the twist out, back up we go, and release. Very good. Okay, we're going to move into a quadruped. We're going to take a step back from our chair, okay? Hinge here, belly tight, protect that low back. And then we're going to place our hands in the chair. Now, bring your weight forward because we're going to leave our hands on the chair. We're not going to lift our hands up in this version of quadruped, okay? It's going to be our legs only. So I'm looking down at the chair, so I have no wrinkles in my neck. I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to extend it up behind me, okay? Standing knee can be soft. I want you to try to flex that foot and touch the wall behind you. So lengthening through that leg. Now bend your knee and you're going to bring that knee to that right elbow, okay? And then you're going to press it back. Bring your knee between your hands. Flex the foot as you press it back. Bring the knee across your body to that opposite elbow. Push it back. Listen, bring the knee between the hands. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this foot, cross it back behind the other foot, place those toes on the mat, turn and look at those back toes. Okay? Nice stretch through the spine. A little side waist work as well. One more breath here. Let's go ahead and release that. Go ahead and roll up and take just a moment. We're going to do the other side, but we're going to stay on this side of the chair. It's fine. Okay? Here we go. Let's roll it down first. Hinging, belly's tight. Place your hands in the chair. Bring your weight forward. Now remember, if this bothers your wrist, you can always be up on your fists. Okay? It's always an option, keeping the wrist straight. Okay? All right, my weight is forward. We're going to do the other leg. All right? So here we go. We're going to take that leg behind us, flex the foot, and then it's like you're trying to touch the wall behind you with that foot. So really lengthening through the hips. Belly stays tight. Hips are stable. So what tends to want to happen is that hip kind of wants to hike up. Not want you to let that happen, okay? Use those abdominals and keep that leg long. Hips square. Bend the knee. Touch that left elbow. Flex the foot and push that foot back behind you. Bring the knee between the hands. Push that foot back behind you. Bring that knee across to the opposite elbow. Press back. All right, are we ready? Here's the change. Bring the knee between the hands. Now, you're going to take that leg. You're going to cross behind. Put that foot on the floor. You should feel a pretty good stretch. Now we're going to turn and we're going to look at those back toes. We just have one more breath. All right, go ahead and face forward. Bring that leg around. Bend your knees. Roll up to a standing position. Let's have a seat. And grab a sip of water. Let's move forward in our chair and we're going to do some windshield wiper knees. If you want to hold on to the chair, that's great. So all we're going to do is we're going to let our knees fall. I got to come just a little bit further forward. Let our knees fall to the right. And then we're going to come center and let our knees fall the other way. So let's go ahead and come up center. The key to this one is the hips stay forward, okay? So do that again. Just windshield wiper knees and center and back and center. Okay, so now the add-on for this one, we're going to let our knees fall to the right, and then I'm going to take my foot and I'm going to place it on that knee, all right? So keeping the hips forward is where you're going to get the most stretch into those hips. Does that feel okay? This one, if you are so inclined and want to do this laying down on the flat on your back and do this version, boy, does it feel good on the back. It really does. One more breath. Let's come up, release that, and let's go to the other side. So we're going to let those knees fall to the left first. Bring your foot up and then just let that. So kind of the weight of this leg is giving you a little more stretch here. We just have one more breath. All right, let's go ahead and come up and release. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is our extended chair pose with a block. We're going to start with the block between the knees. Now, if you don't have a block, it's fine, right? Just think about squeezing in, all right? So we're going to start with our hands at heart. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm kind of moving forward in my chair. So we're going to bring our hands to heart, all right? We're going to take a deep breath in. And on an exhale, I'm going to act like I'm getting up off the chair and I'm going to squeeze that block, all right? You might be thinking, what does this have to do with the back? You'll see here in a minute. You know me, we add on, right? Okay, let's release that. Let's do that one more time, all right? Hands at heart. We're going to squeeze that block. Act like you're getting out of the chair, but don't. One more breath and release. Okay, this time we're going to lift our hips up off of the chair. So make sure that your feet are at a position when you push down, you've got purchase and you can lift up, okay? So we're going to take a deep breath in. On an exhale, we're going to lift up, squeeze the block. Now, if it feels okay for you, you're going to pull your belly in and you're going to extend your arms long. Squeeze the block, extend the arms long, and you should feel a nice stretch into the back. One more breath here. Bring your hands back to heart. Go ahead and have a seat and release. Can we do that one more time? All right, one more time and that's it. All right, so here we go. Bring your hands to heart to start with. Squeeze that block. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, press into your chair pose. All right, inhale here. Exhale, extend your chair pose. Extending those arms, squeezing that block, looking down at the floor, no wrinkles in the neck. You should feel a good stretch into the back, lengthening through that spine. One more breath. Bring your hands back to heart. Go ahead and have a seat. Excellent. Okay, let's set our block down. Okay, we're going to do a seated twist here. So normally we would just do this twist. I want us to try the version where we cross our leg over. So I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to cross it over the right, okay? Then I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to place it on the outside. So whichever leg is on top, the opposite hand is the one that you want to have here. The other hand is going to come back to the chair, lengthen through the spine, pull that shoulder back, and then turn and look over that shoulder. So it's a little different with the leg crossed. I don't know if you feel it, but I do. Let's come center, and then we're going to do twist the other way. So this hand is going to come on the inside of that leg. This hand is going to come back to the chair, lengthen, pull the shoulder back, and twist. Don't forget, you always want to lengthen through the spine before you move the spine in any direction. All right, and release. Let's go to the other side, okay? All right, So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the opposite hand and place it on the outside of that leg. Other hand is going to come back to the chair. We're going to lengthen through the spine, pull the belly in, turn, and look over the back of our chair. Let's release that and do the other side. And release. Very, very good. Okay, so we're going to grab our block. If you don't have a block, it's just fine. Don't worry about it. But we're going to put our block in the number 1 position between our feet. Okay? So let's extend through the spine. Go ahead and hold on to those thighs first and let your heart fall forward. We're going to place our hands on the block. Let your head fall. So I'm looking underneath my chair. Now, if it feels okay for you, you're going to take your hands off of the block. You're going to grab your elbows and let the upper body hang out. So gravity is helping, right? Your hands are coming down towards the mat. Your head is helping with that gravity. We have one more breath. Now go ahead and place your hands back on the block. Begin to work your way back up. Place your hands on your thighs. I'm just giving you a little bit of support for that low back, and roll it all the way up. How did that feel? I love ragdoll. I just think that one feels so good. Let's set our block aside. And we're going to come into a pyramid pose. So we're going to extend that right leg out, toes are up to the ceiling, lengthen through the spine, and let that heart fall forward. I'm holding on to my thighs here. Now I'm going to roll it up. And I'm going to do that again. This time, if it feels okay, as you extend through the spine, walk your hands down your leg. See how that feels, right? If that doesn't feel good, then keep your hands on your thighs for a nice supported pyramid pose. This one is going to give you maybe a little bit more stretch if that works for your body. One more breath. You're going to walk your hands back up that leg, bend the knee, and let's go to the other side. So I'm going to extend my leg long, toes to the ceiling, lengthen through the spine. Hang on to those thighs for the first one, right? Let that heart fall forward. How does that feel? Checking in. Let's go ahead and tuck our chin and roll up. Okay, and then this version, if you like that, extend the spine long. If that one felt good, let's walk our hands down the leg. Just a little different, right? Letting that heart fall just a little bit further. Keeping the back flat and keeping the legs straight. One more breath, and we're going to roll it up. And release. All right. So we're going to move into our seated pigeon. I'm going to take my ankle and let it rest right in front of that knee. I'm going to extend my spine long and let my heart fall forward. If you'll notice, my back is flat, right? So the flatter you keep your back, the more you're going to feel this one. All right, let's roll it up. And let's just move that, I call it fluttering the butterfly wing. It just kind of moves that joint a little bit. And let's do that one more time. Lengthen through the spine, let that heart fall forward. You feeling that glute? I am right here, yeah. All right, let's roll it up. Ah, let's go to the other side. Lengthening through the spine, letting that heart fall forward. Oh gosh, this just feels so good to me. Taking just a moment here, just a few breaths. Okay, let's roll it up and just flutter that butterfly wing. And let's do it one more time. Extend and hinge. Go ahead and roll it up. All right. Let's put our feet on the floor. Go ahead and sit back in your chair. You can lean back now if you wish. Hands are resting lightly on the thighs. Flip those palms up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Close your eyes and breathe. A whole lot of good. You are not perfect, not all-knowing, not endlessly powerful, yet you can do something good today. You don't have access to endless resources. Your life has challenges, shortcomings, disappointments, and frustrations. Even so, you can make a positive difference in someone's world right now. You can bring a genuine smile to someone's face. You are not in the most ideal situation that ever existed. However, you are in a situation where you can be kind, loving, generous, and understanding. Your life has its shares of difficulties, concerns, unfairness, and discomfort. It also has plenty of beautiful possibilities. Focus on those possibilities for goodness and find great fulfillment in bringing them to life. Though you'll never make everything perfect, you can always do a whole lot of good. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Let your right ear fall towards your right shoulder. Reach up with the right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with the hands. Give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Left ear to left shoulder. Reach up with left hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that right hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say Namaste. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you next time. Remember, click that subscribe button and give me a comment.